Hi everyone, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you very much for your subscriptions. I greatly appreciate them. This is the daily forecast. It is for all signs. It is a broad spectrum reading, so I do speak in broad terms. You need to figure out if and where it fits in your life, if at all. If it doesn't fit, that's okay. It doesn't mean anything's broken or wrong. You're not on your path. It just may not be your reading today. It's originally created for Monday the 19th, but I don't believe that it's solely set for that date. If you're seeing this video in your feed on some day other than the 19th, by all means, utilize the reading when you see it, especially if it makes sense to your situation. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my daily videos. In there is just some housekeeping rules, things I want you to think about when utilizing my channel, what decks I'm currently working with in the video, and easy ways to support the channel. You can do so by hitting the thumbs up button, subscribing to the channel, sharing the video out, leaving me a question or comment. All of that stuff I greatly appreciate, and it does help me get the word out. Alright, let's see what these cards want us to know. Oh, and I will be referring back to the Sunday underpinning reading. So if you hear me mentioning cards that you don't see in this reading, I'm usually talking about that reading, which populates in the lower left-hand corner at the end of this video. Alright, so let's see. Oh my god, it's the Seven of Swords again. We've been seeing him a lot this month. I wish he'd get off that damn skateboard and give us our mail back. This is a card of lies, deceit, betrayal. Somebody's withholding a truth. It could be us withholding a truth, maybe in the protection of another. But generally, as a rule, this card usually connotates, you know, a thief or a liar, somebody that's not on the up and up. It could relate to a situation, you know, like maybe there's a situation that's not living up to our expectations, or we're not being given all of the information that's needed so that we can make like a self-assured decision within the situation. So this is definitely a card, I feel like, where we're being warned essentially to kind of keep our feelers out, make sure that we're aware of all that's going on around us, make sure that we can trust those that are around us that we are maybe confiding in or sharing secrets with. This person, though, I get a feeling isn't reciprocating. Like, if they have a truth, they're keeping it to themselves. And in doing so, it's almost kind of like a lying by omission situation, right? Where they're not necessarily giving you the full story, or they're giving you the story that they want you to hear. Sometimes with the Seven of Swords, it can be also, you know, yes, they're lying or not telling the full truth, the whole truth, but in some way they might believe that that is the correct thing to do, or that it's none of your business, or whatever it is. There's basically something in the milk ain't clean today. Let's see what the modern Nirvana Oracle has to say. Liberation. Not mad at her. We've seen her before too. I love the blue and the orange. It makes me think of fire or twin flames. He almost looks like he's gonna knock that vase over when he falls on his ass off that skateboard. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not that mad at the Seven of Swords showing up, because liberation is our oracle card, meaning we might be freeing ourselves from a situation that's not being truthful to us, or releasing a person that has been, you know, deceitful, that hasn't given us what we needed when we needed it, kind of thing. And I don't mean that in a selfish, demanding way. I mean it more in just like a regular needs being met sort of way. This person, to me, singularly thinks about themselves and themselves alone. And so we might be actually able to liberate ourselves from this whole scenario and not have to deal with it much longer with this liberation card here. Let me read liberation to you. Because I mean, liberation is like freedom, like freeing oneself from whatever the drama is that this Seven of Swords is bringing. So liberation. By liberation of the self through love, we will develop love. Gautama Buddha. Before we can achieve liberation, we must look at what is currently keeping us from our ultimate freedom. What layers of expectation are we confined to? If you had a complete liberation right now, would that even be something that you would be willing to accept? We often seek comfort and familiarity in order to avoid the discomfort of change. This card is a gentle nudge to take a step into the unknown, away from what feels comfortable, and pivot from your usual choices so that you can get closer to freedom. Remember that, in fact, you are already liberated, but it is the human conditioning that we use as our blueprint that hides how truly free we already are. The mantra is, it is my right to be liberated from that which limits my mind. I believe in my inherent freedom and leave all limitations behind. We could be ditching somebody. Like, I almost feel like we're tired of their bullshit. One second, let me grab my water. We could be freeing ourselves from a situation that's just no longer healthy, honest, good for us. The interesting thing too is like his skateboard is pointing towards what I consider the past of the reading, and this bird's wing here is going towards what I consider the future of this reading. So there could be a parting of ways happening here. But I don't get that it's a bad feeling, because the Seven of Swords would indicate that whomever or whatever we're parting ways with wasn't being honest with us in the beginning anyways. And we knew it. Like, that's kind of the blue of the vase, is that sort of like, I associate blue with certainty a lot of the time, you know, it's just a very stable, calming, certain sort of color. And so we might be ready to head in a different direction. That's been sort of a theme because we've been seeing a lot of jets. Like we saw the Eight of Cups, I want to say twice in last week, and there was a jet there, and then there was a jet, what was it, on yesterday's card, the Nine of Swords. Oh, and this is underpinning a Nine of Swords from the Sunday reading. I forgot about that. We've been fretting over whatever this decision is or whatever this liberation is, maybe for some time. But now it feels like the time has come to actually free ourselves, or call that person out, or tell them, like, look, this isn't the truth and I know it, kind of thing. Let's go to the clarifiers. We have the Six of Wands, which is going to be celebration in the end. And he's definitely heading towards the future on the, white horse of purity. But he's being honored, right? And he's back from war, he's the victor, he's being celebrated. With this liberation card, it makes me feel like this is definitely our time to move forward and make decisions that suit our soul and our happiness rather than the happiness of another. We have the Two of Wands, lots of wands energy, fair amount of fire. It's interesting, I said that this reminds me of the twin flame colors. Just like that bird looks like the blue flame on a Duraflame log, it kind of reminds me of that. But the Two of Wands is about setting our sights on new horizons. What do we spiritually desire? What is it that we want? It almost looks like the Six of Wands, which is about celebration and recognition, is having a conversation with the Two of Wands, like, good job, Bob. Yeah, thanks, Jim. So where are you headed now? I'm going to Disneyland. You know what I mean? It's like they're definitely having a discussion about, okay, now that we've achieved this, what do we want to do next? And ideally, it's our spirit that's driving these decisions or these choices for us today that should bring about empowerment, healing, freedom even. Freedom from something that's, to be honest, with the Seven of Swords, it may not deserve our time anymore. We've tried and tried again, and there's no new results. So it's time to start to look to new horizons, especially through this Two of Wands. The last card is the Hanged Man. Piscean energy, it is major arcana. It's kind of like a moment of enlightenment, you know, it's sort of like, yes, he's hanging there and he's stuck, but I don't feel like there's a stuck thing here. It's more, to me, it's like getting in the present moment and getting our own higher self's information around a situation will lead to our victory, will aid us in having some form of liberation or freedom put into place from whatever this Seven of Swords is, however it manifests. It can be a nasty coworker, an evil boss, you know, a sibling that's not telling you all the truth, or a family member that is, you know, not being upfront or honest with you. And it can also be a partner for some of you. But regardless of who it is, they're not playing fair, and you know it. You've known it for a while, is my feeling. And you've kind of maybe potentially been making excuses for them, or allowing them just a little bit more rope, and thus they become the Hanged Man, right? They've done hung themselves. But the Hanged Man always has that halo of light around his head, meaning there's some sort of spiritual information, download, awareness that is coming to us. And the Hangman is a spiritual card, but also with all of these wands coupled with it, also speaks to the suit of spirit. So there is a big truth coming out of all of this, a truth that could be transformative and could free us to take the new path that the Two of Wands and the Six of Wands feel like they want to create together. But we have to be in the present moment, aware, and even, you know, maybe slightly meditative. I know that we have busy lives, so we can't always stop and do a 20-minute meditation, but a quiet, calm reflection on where we're at and where we may want to go could serve us very, very well. Not only, you know, emotionally, because this card is represented by Pisces, but also spiritually with all of this wands on the table here. Let's go to the grounding stone. This is just a principle and just a grounding for the day while dealing with however this situation manifests in your life. And the stone is, I think this is aventurine. It's such a deep dark green stone, is Namaste. Namaste is, I think, a greeting and a departure, but it means the God in me honors the God in you. So even if we are being betrayed by someone, or somebody's not telling us the whole truth or half-truths, or they're being hinky, you know, like playing games, not being upfront, not being honest, as we begin to progress and to liberate ourselves, gain the spiritual wisdom of the Hanged Man, start to begin to make fresh new plans in a different direction, and celebrating that, we can still honor this situation for the learning that it gave us. We don't need to carry the resentment or the anger. I don't feel that necessarily, but the Namaste stone makes me think of, you know, the God in me honors the God in you. And even though your God might skateboard around and steal people's mail, I love you anyways, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, not that you have to be in love with them anymore. If it's over for you, by all means, be over. There definitely looks like there's an opportunity here for a deeper awareness, and for new plans. But grounding in this idea of honoring ourselves at the same level that we would honor somebody that maybe didn't do right by us is really, to me, it feels rather profound, right? It feels like the higher road, the road less traveled. But there's a truth here And remember too, the grounding stone for this week was respect. So there is a way to break away from some of these situations or attain this liberation, this enlightenment, these plans, this celebration that we want, where we can be grateful and in gratitude for it, to our guides, to our God, however we view our spiritual connection. We can be in deep gratitude for that, and that's kind of what Namaste represents to me. I hope that makes sense, you guys. It'd be interesting to hear what is going on with you. Is there a fox in the hen house? That's what I want to know. And if so, what are your plans about changing that? You know, and for those of you that don't have plans or don't necessarily feel as though you need to address this Seven of Swords, by all means, don't force yourself, right? This sort of stuff, whether it be small white lies or even bigger lies, they always seem to surface somehow. So that hangman could be us just pausing, backing off, and being like, okay, I'm just going to wait here and chill until I get the information I need to make that right, self-assured decision. Okay? I hope that makes sense, you guys. If you like the reading, please hit the thumbs up button. And oh, also with that Nine of Swords underneath all of this, do not fret. Do not worry. Escape that if you can, right? Not escape it, but like acknowledge it, honor it, and then move on. Don't let it linger too long, because that would just be sort of a waste of resources, time, and energy. We also have that midweek card of the star coming up too, which will be a massive healing through this decision that we are making. So that is your reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the reading, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell because I do put up daily content. You can also subscribe to my Patreon if you want to see the content a day early. Share the video out and leave me a question or comment. Have a wonderful day, you guys. Bye-bye.